You gonna owe something. Anyway, let's get the fag on our live. The cum guzzler. That chicken.
I even seen something that was suspicious. I'm like, who are you? Who the fuck is
I ain't know who the fuck is you, that bitch. Leave people the fuck
you?
alone.
9 out of 10. This is how easy you can get sorrow. You can get sorrow easily by screen recording the video. And he'll just stay on that distraction. And he'll allow himself to lose his composure and everything.
I ain't bad thinking about your
The you do the same thing. It's just listening. But you don't let them know.
You don't let them know how stupid you sound.
And they tell that person. So that's what you do. You know? All of the things that Eagle says is pretty much exactly what I predicted. It's just exactly as I predicted. And nobody will never believe me, but I know who I am. So it is what it is. All this hostility in the world, and you still got no Jesus. All this Jesus stuff, and it still ain't no souls in that motherfucker. You'll get made with stupid shit. I don't know where we're gonna call cops on somebody. Number one, you chose to watch.
No, you chose to watch. I ain't thinking about your fat ass.
I try to tell people whenever you deal with somebody like this, there's no logic with them.
That's right, because you can't have
they gotta say, talk this shit. Speak what little you can speak like the weather or something. Because this person says all the crazy stuff. In fact, some of the things that he be saying, like the way you doing stuff, someone the way they really be doing. Say stuff that don't make sense and then just be in form of these titles and these weird symbols. I don't believe that guy. I think there's some screws that guy. Some screws in that man's hand. It is what it is. Screws in his head. I don't know how that's a pastor. Like the way you're observing. I'm a pastor, a prophet. It can't be ranked the same as a pastor. Because prophet gets stuff in the mind of God and revelation. Or things in the mind or in dreams most of the time. To say that position is the same position time. Bob says that the bishop must be blameless. I don't know why. This guy is not blameless. His head is not covered all the way. I actually went for I could have did something to that guy. I definitely would have did something to Missouri. The thing is, I don't know with prayer. Knowing about God, be afraid to get into it because of that, and be afraid of the period. Everything that they say, they got this man saying, I had never read of the blood on the but I said, if my mom died, I'm going to use time behavior, spiteful behavior, like you use that as something on. I'm going to use that, put myself in jail for the terroristic threat charge. I mean, even though I had the church, he has a show called The Pop Speaks. Um, now you got this bubbling idiot say the same old damn thing over and over and over again. Um, I like to see the video where I address Tommy Ingram. Because you'll find that it had nothing to do with no Gino. But because Tommy Ingram has mentioned Gino a lot, I compared them to giants. One giant versus the other. They're both giants in their unique way. One is has more dominance than the other, but they're both giants, both Ingram and Jennings. They're both giants. So, well, I'm gonna give myself something to do here. Y'all just take care of yourselves. Just be good. Try to do something. Try to get your kids in the right environment, the right shit, you know. Don't try to be in a situation where it becomes like what you're seeing in real time. So, kids in the right environment. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm So this is what he did, and I actually saw it in my mind. He was going to end the stream. Then what he was going to do was rebroadcast himself and then put it as something else to make it like he was done. And then after a while, he was going to bring out maybe the pastor or something. So they kind of talk behind the scenes. And that came in my mind so much, I wanted to see if I was really showing up. So I'm going to do something. And all I'm going to do is going to be a slow, painful thing. Like I said, you don't have to do nothing. All you do is get something pathetic is what you're going to see. And it's just no different. Trying to get into the audio, mute the audio. So, got the audio muted. And I want to see if I'm right about something. I got everything I want pretty much. I want to see if I'm right about something. People, I want to do something. I'll be right back.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? If so, you need to stop now and immediately call an experienced auto accident attorney. Look at this check for $237,000. This settlement and many others like it were payments our team of legal experts obtained for our clients. If you have not been in an auto accident, feel free to skip this video. We don't want to waste your time. But for those of you still watching, I'm going to share the best way for you to achieve the maximum settlement. The right attorney can help you get top compensation for your vehicle or property damage, medical bills, lost income, and pain and suffering. To obtain the most compensation for your car accident, we need to know if the accident was not your fault, if you were injured, and if the accident happened within the last 2 years. If this matches your circumstances and you have not spoken with an attorney, you need to call us now. Do not speak to insurance companies or the other party without legal guidance. Saying the wrong thing can absolutely destroy your case and reduce or even eliminate your settlement amount. Don't wait to contact us. The longer you wait, the less severe your case may appear. Eventually, the time to make a claim will vanish. You need to call us to get working on your case as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we've seen too many car accident victims attempt to settle cases on their own without the help of an experienced attorney. With no threat of a lawsuit or litigation, insurance companies make lowball offers and pretend like it's the best they can do. Do not make this mistake. You need the help from experienced attorneys at Find Legal to navigate the complexities of insurance law on your behalf. Great, you're saying, but how much will a personal injury attorney cost? This is a good question and the one everyone asks. Experienced personal injury attorneys work on what's called a contingency basis, meaning there's no payment up front. Our attorneys only receive compensation when they win your case for you. There are zero out-of-pocket costs. Our legal teams work for free until your case is won. To make things even easier, you can contact us any day of the week, any time of day. Here's a recent example of a settlement we received for our client, Kevin. He was rear-ended by a semi-truck that was following too closely on his way to work. After the accident, Kevin, like many of our clients, didn't feel severe pain until several days later. He began to feel discomfort in his neck and lower back, as well as aches from the seatbelt and airbag deployment. He was unable to work, needed a new car, needed compensation for lost income, and a substantial amount set aside for future potential lifelong treatment for his injuries. The opposing party's insurance pressured Kevin to accept a $10,000 offer as that was his car's value. However, they made no offer to remedy his injuries or the future pain and suffering he would experience. The settlement we obtained for Kevin after he became a client, $450,000. We can help you put your life back together after an accident. Find Legal attorneys fight to get you the maximum compensation for your accident. Historical data has shown that auto accident victims that work with an attorney receive 3.5 times more in compensation than those without an attorney. A quick call with our legal intake team will get you talking with an attorney that specializes in auto accident cases. We're available 24/7, 365 days a year. Connect with us to have your legal questions answered and find out what your case is worth. When you've been in a car accident that wasn't your fault, you won't be suing the other person directly. You'll be going after their insurance company. The opposing party's insurance have their own legal teams whose sole purpose is to minimize the amount they will pay out for your accident. Without a legal professional working by your side, you'll be going up against legal insurance teams that have decades of experience settling cases for next to nothing. They'll try and make you doubt the merits of your own case and pressure you to accept the lowest compensation possible. They know they're going to have to pay something, but will employ tricks and games to minimize this amount. If you've received an offer from an insurance company to settle your accident claim, do not sign it before it's been reviewed by your own personal injury counsel. Once you accept an offer, you sign away your ability to make any future claims for compensation. A lot of times, victims walk away from car accidents thinking their injuries are not that severe. But after a few days, the pain slowly starts to build, eventually becoming unbearable. Many that hate doctor visits or don't have strong health insurance skip treatment altogether. Do not do this. Treatment for your injury, as well as the medical documentation, strengthens your case. If you've been injured, it's imperative that you contact us immediately. Our attorneys can guide you through the process of getting the right treatment for your injuries and even help you find the right doctors. Oftentimes, medical care can be a really simple process that gets you back on your feet quickly, but we also want to make sure a more serious injury isn't hiding beneath the surface. Reach out to us now so we can guide you on the path to full recovery and help you get compensation for your pain and suffering. So how much is your car accident case worth? This is a great question, and one that's almost always asked by our clients. The amount of compensation you'll get from a car accident depends on several factors, including the severity of your injuries, the extent of the damages, the loss of income and future income, insurance coverage, and the circumstances surrounding the accident. If the accident resulted in serious injuries, such as broken bones, long-term treatment, or even permanent disability, the compensation would skyrocket. It's important to gather as much evidence as possible to build a compelling case and accurately determine the value of the claim. This is something you will need an expert team to help you with and may include eyewitness statements, CCTV footage, dashcam footage, police reports, medical records, and other documentation. The compensation depends on the specific circumstances of each case and the experience of your legal team. It's imperative you consult a qualified attorney who can help you navigate the legal process and maximize your recovery amount. So what I want you to do is click the link below and either call us directly or fill out the 15-second survey form. Our legal intake department will connect with you and get you working with a top auto accident attorney. Time is important. The longer you wait, the more your case value could shrink. Act now before your ability to make a claim completely disappears.
Visit Check Here. Feel free.
David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, breaking news. The war with Iran helping inflation hit a 3-year high. Americans now paying more for gas and record prices for some groceries. What President Trump just said about Americans' financial situation that's now getting so much attention. Also breaking tonight, the number of hantavirus cases rising. All eyes on 18 people evacuated for that infected cruise ship and placed in quarantine. 18 others now being tracked in at least 10 states. Disturbing new details in that horrific scene on the runway. Authorities identifying the man struck by a passenger jet during takeoff, saying he scaled the 8-foot security fence in just seconds. Tonight, President Trump leaving for his high-stakes summit in China. What he's saying about ending the war in Iran. Tonight, David Muir traveling to China to cover the summit between President Trump and President Xi. The heated hearing on Capitol Hill, FBI Director Kash Patel clashing with lawmakers over reports of his excessive drinking. The NBA player found dead inside a home. Tonight, what law enforcement sources are now saying. The race to rescue 10 people, their plane going down 80 miles off the coast of Florida. Prosecutors demanding access to Tiger Woods' prescription drug records following his DUI arrest, what a judge has decided. And America Strong tonight, the graduation surprise of a lifetime. The students, their families on their feet cheering. You'll see why.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. I'm Whit Johnson. David Muir is on his way to China for President Trump's summit with President Xi. But we begin here tonight with breaking news. The war in Iran having a major impact on the U.S. economy and your money. The war in Iran pushing costs higher. The Labor Department's Consumer Price Index rising 3.8% over last year. Americans paying even more for gas. The national average hovering around $4.50 per gallon. The cost expected to keep rising towards Memorial Day. And some groceries now hitting record prices. The cost of ground beef at an all-time high. Tomatoes up 40% over last year. President Trump, who campaigned on lowering prices, what he's now saying about Americans and their financial situation. ABC's chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, leads us off.
Tonight, from skyrocketing prices at the pump to all-time highs for beef, families are feeling the pain from the biggest jump in the cost of living in 3 years. The U.S. government says prices in April jumped 3.8% compared to last year. Energy prices in the wake of the Iran war fueling the surge. Gas up 28.4% year over year. The national average for regular now $4.49 a gallon. For diesel, $5.63 a gallon.
To fill that fuel tank right there on this Kenworth, it would cost, that's 100 gallons, so it cost me about $710.
Trucker Kyle Cameron says before the war broke out, that same fill-up would have cost him about $465.
Diesel prices impact shipping all across the country, and that's one of the reasons that grocery prices jumped such a large rate month over month.
Beef at an all-time high, up 14.9%. Ground beef now more than $7 a pound. Tomatoes up 50%. Coffee up nearly 30%. Our Alex Perez met Chicago shoppers feeling the pain.
I could buy milk for $1.99 3 weeks ago, $2.29 now.
Airline fares are up more than 20%. By one estimate, the American household is spending $642 more per month for the same stuff as they did 3 years ago. And for the first time in 3 years, wages aren't rising faster than inflation.
Inflation at 3.8%, wage gains at 3.6% in the past year. And that's why people are really feeling pinched and that they have to stretch every dollar.
President Trump rejecting the idea that the pain Americans are feeling from inflation will influence his negotiations with Iran.
The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody.
And Whit, a new poll shows that 75% of Americans say the war with Iran has had a negative effect on their financial situation. But it's not just energy-related categories. Housing costs, those prices are up 3.3% from a year ago. Whit?
Alarming numbers. Rebecca Jarvis for us. We appreciate it. And at this hour, President Trump is on his way to China, the war in Iran overshadowing his high-stakes summit with President Xi. At the White House earlier today, the president pressed about the stalled talks with Iran and insisting he doesn't need President Xi's help in ending the war. ABC's chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, in Beijing tonight.
Tonight, President Trump setting off for China, a trip he had already postponed once because of the war in Iran.
This is going to be a very exciting trip. A lot of good things are going to happen.
Trump had hoped to arrive in China victorious over Iran, with momentum to fuel new deals on trade and technology. Instead, the war is at a standstill. On Capitol Hill, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham warning the president to remember China is one of Iran's closest allies.
Does China buy 90% of Iranian oil, Ms. Secretary?
China buys a very large percentage.
Okay, 90% is pretty large. So President Trump, when you go to China, realize that the person you're talking to is propping up Russia and Iran.
Trump insists he doesn't need Chinese President Xi's help to end the war.
We're going to have a long talk about it. I think he's been relatively good, to be honest with you.
And with the president had high hopes for this trip, looking to reset this relationship. He's bringing with him over a dozen American business leaders, including Apple's Tim Cook and Elon Musk on the agenda, everything from tariffs to AI. But with the war with Iran looming large over all of this.
Yes, a pivotal summit, Mary, and David Muir will be anchoring World News Tonight and our coverage of the summit from China starting tomorrow night. We do move on now to the deadly hantavirus outbreak. The number of cases linked to that infected cruise ship rising to at least 11. All eyes on the quarantine units now monitoring 18 former passengers in Omaha and Atlanta. Health officials also tracking 18 other people in at least 10 states. ABC's Victor Oquendo in Omaha tonight.
Tonight, with a growing number of hantavirus cases, officials here in the U.S. are monitoring more Americans who may have been exposed to infected passengers from that cruise ship. Health teams across 10 states are now tracking 18 people who either returned home early from the cruise or traveled on a plane with a sick passenger, none of them showing signs of illness. And we're also getting our first update on the 18 passengers in quarantine facilities. One symptomatic passenger in a biocontainment unit in Atlanta has tested negative for hantavirus, and all 16 in Omaha are symptom-free, including the only American to test positive for the virus, who remains in biocontainment. Are you finding most people are willing to quarantine here, or they're eager to get back home?
I think that they want to do what's safest for them. So far, everyone's been very cooperative.
Tonight, the World Health Organization is warning of the potential for more infections because symptoms can take weeks to present.
Good morning, everyone.
Jake Rosemarin, now in quarantine in Omaha.
Here's mine.
Oh, wow. I got to see what this hantavirus is. It's probably Reed putting it out. But anyway, y'all, just want to come live. So, Reed, you about to get popped. All the emails are going out. So, you may as well get ready, bitch. Okay? Nobody's playing with you. Okay? It's enough. You don't want to come over and tell why you do the shit you do. So you're going to get some authority. Okay? That's going to be your problem. You're talking about everybody, oh, I can do what I want and why everybody can do this. No, God is not speaking to you. But he will be. Somebody will be speaking to you. But he's playing with you, punk. So that's that on that. I love y'all. Take care. And Popation begins.